In the previous videos of working Phantom and the other Arabians, I told you that we really did not want him to stand still when we first got on, but standing still was just going to happen without us really doing anything about it. And in this video, watching Phantom, you can see that start to take effect. Robert steps up there and really doesn't ask for anything. He doesn't ask for him to walk off, but Phantom stands pretty good for a horse that has never been asked to stand when we get on. Now Phantom walked off, so Robert's going to ask him to move his feet, and just continuing this, Phantom is going to end up standing really good for us to get on. When you have a young horse that you're starting under saddle that doesn't know what to expect and doesn't know to stand still, we like to ask them to walk off pretty quick. That gives them some motion, that gives them some place to put their energy. If you start pulling back and saying, no, I want you to stand, that's going to create more anxiety in these young horses and more in an issue that you're going to have to fix later. With letting him walk circles like we did in the beginning, and as you see now, he walked a couple steps, but then he stopped and stood again. That's going to keep getting better and better, and we're eventually going to have to send him off to get him to go. On this day, Robert is riding him around. His owner is here watching him being worked, and the owner is going to get on and ride in just a little bit and have a pretty nice ride. What we're doing with Phantom now is bringing his energy up, asking him to move, and then bringing his energy back down. Being an Arabian, he gets kind of ADHD and a little bit forward, and that's just kind of typical of the breed. So we want to teach him to control that. So that's what we've been doing with him all along. And you'll see in this video, we actually have to push him forward, which that's what we want. He is what some people would say lazy for an Arabian, and he is to a point, but he has a lot of go in there, and he is this way because of how we've done everything up to this point. And he's turning out to be a really nice horse. He gets distracted and forgets to move his feet and just kind of stops and looks. So we're working on that, getting him to focus. And that's what we're doing right now as we work him, is teaching him how to focus. And that's coming along really nice. Robert will ask him to trot, get his energy up, and then walk and get his energy back down. Then we do a little bit of loping also, doing the same thing. Here Robert's asking him to trot around. We're trying to get him to maintain a consistent speed at a trot. He gets distracted and he'll speed up a little bit and he'll slow down a little bit. So we're working on that consistency there. Trying to get him to focus mentally a little bit. And you'll see him opening his mouth and that kind of thing. That's also going to go away when a lot of the other things go away. And that's just a symptom of him being distracted. And that's a non-issue that's going to take care of itself without us actually doing anything about it. Now Robert's letting him walk. We want to bring Phantom's energy up and then bring his energy back down. We don't want him to keep moving forward to the point where he starts to get hot. So we'll go forward, and when Robert feels his body start to get stiff, he'll ask him to walk and get him to relax again. We want all the gaits, walk, trot, and lope, to be relaxed. And as he continues to relax, everything's going to get softer, his steering's going to get better. All this stuff that he's doing with his mouth and his head, that's all going to get better. That's all just a matter of being distracted and not as relaxed as he needs to be. That's all going to fix itself on his own. Robert walked a little bit, and now he asked him to trot again, and just working on that consistent speed again, and just lots of this repetition. And Phantom is to the point where he's really bored in this covered arena. We've been riding him out in the big arena some and riding him out back in the pasture a good bit. He really likes being out. So he gets a little bit bored in here. So that's a little bit of a reason for the distractions. He's just bored. He wants to go do something else. But overall, he's responding nice to the steering and bringing his energy up and bringing his energy back down like we ask. So he's that part is progressing really nice. Phantom's canter transitions are not always this good. Sometimes they're more disconnected and more wiggly, but overall they're coming together really nice. And he's going to end up with a really nice canter. I'm looking forward to see how it all comes together. It kind of I see this canter and then I think of a comment I had in one of his earlier videos. Why would anybody put the time into training a horse like that? Well, this is why. This is really nice horse. And we get those transitions a little bit better, pushing a little bit better from behind. He kind of ran into the wall there. He wasn't looking where he was going. And get him a little bit better transitioning from behind. And this horse is going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to cantering this horse. And as you see, he's going to have really nice transitions, really nice canter. It's going to be smooth. I'm looking forward to seeing how this horse comes together. I'm thinking this is going to be a really good versatility trail horse as far as like showing in some of those other competitions. It's just he's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what direction he'll go in. As you see, he's kind of running into his canter transitions, not really pushing from behind like he needs to. But that one actually wasn't too bad. They're going to get a lot better, and he's going to. He naturally uses his body pretty balanced. Just like a horse can be left-handed or right-handed, horses are also front end or back end. And some horses are all about the front end and don't really, and the back end just follows. And some horses are all about the back end and the front end is just there. And Phantom is a horse that's not only pretty balanced left to right, he's also pretty balanced front to back. And that's one less thing that we have to really work on. And as you see, we cantered him some, and then we're going to walk him some. Bring his energy up, bring his energy down. It's the same thing that I've talked about, like when I'm working Hank, working cows. Bring it up, bring it back down. And as you see, Robert's kind of kicking on him a little bit to keep him walking. We want to keep walking forward. Even after we cantered, he needs to keep his feet moving forward, needs to walk forward. That's really important at this stage. We don't want him to canter and then stop. That would create other problems if we let that happen. So you need to canter and need to walk. And here Robert's changing directions, and we're going to go again the other direction. So this whole ride between Robert working Phantom and then the owner riding Phantom was a little over an hour. So cutting it down a little bit so you can see everything that went on. At this point, the owner got on, and she is very experienced riding Arabians. That is pretty much all she rides, and very experienced with what she does with them. And she got on him. We did adjusted the stirrups a little bit, and she rode right off. And he is listening to her very good. She's much more relaxed than she was in the last video that you saw her riding. At that point, she didn't really know what to expect. Now that she's ridden him before, she has a pretty good idea what to expect. And this ride goes really good. She walks him around a little bit here and gonna ask him to trot, and they get along really well. Now, of course, some of the things that we were working on as far as his head and speed control, as far as getting him to travel at a consistent speed, she's working on those same things here too. But she handles him really well, and it turns out to be a really nice ride for both her and him. She does trot him here in just a few minutes, and we discussed that the next time she comes, we're going to get him out of this covered arena, for her to ride him out of the covered arena. We just got a lot of rain the day before, and would have gotten the two of them out today, but just everything is just really wet. And I think we're going to go ahead and plan a trail ride at the National Forest that's not too far from me, and plan on taking her and him and a couple other horses and get some miles on him. At this point, he really needs that. He needs 5 or 8 mile trail ride, just at a walk, just to relax, get out and see the world. He has all the basics that he needs at this point for that, and that's where we're at with him. There's a little bit of a trot that's really nice there, and a lot of the issues that we're working on with him shows up with her riding him too, and that's issues that we're going to be working with over the next few weeks that we're riding him. And overall, this has turned out to be a really nice horse, um, and a lot of. I've worked a lot of Arabians, and I know what it takes to make a good Arabian, and I like working Arabians. A lot of trainers don't want to take them because of they're hyper and all that kind of stuff, but they're good horses and can be really good horses. And since I worked Saber, he was the first Arabian that I've had in a while. I've had several Arabians come in, and apparently some people are seeing how I work them and like them. And if you've got a horse that you want to send for training, contact me and we'll talk about it. And if it's an Arabian, I'm happy to work with him, and we'll talk about what your horse needs. If you have an Arabian that's kind of hot and hyper, I can probably help you with it. I'm familiar with how they work and things that you have to do different with them than what you do with quarter horses. So this is Phantom. I'll put a link up here to his playlist. Be sure to check out the first few videos of him. He started out as a handful, and as you see, he's turned out to be a pretty nice horse. Until next time, thank you for watching.